Good morning, everybody. 52 minutes after 9 o'clock on this Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to SnowTALK. I am wave meteorologist Brian Good. And hopefully we'll hold on to the title maybe another day. I don't know. It may be switching to Storm Talk the way it's looking here. But as always, we'll be looking ahead. And no, we're not done with winter. Just kind of explaining where we're at with the title there. Thanks for all the well wishes and everything. I'm doing all right. I am on the lovely prednisone for a while, so I apologize in advance. You can probably see my weight fluctuate dramatically over the next couple of weeks. And if you were taking prednisone, you know what I mean. It's not a fun medication. But hey, we're all dealing with something, right? All right, so I'll tell you what. We're going to discuss several things here involving a couple storm systems that will impact toward the Valentine's weekend. The biggest system of all that we are tracking is the one that's heading in a week from the upcoming weekend. That's very, very end of our charts here. So between now and then, yes, we have a chance to do a nice amount of thawing that will be coming our way. This is the reset week. This is also car wash week. If you haven't had a chance to make it to that, get ready for the long lines coming our way. All right, let me show you the board real quick. We'll knock that out. And yeah, well, this isn't a shocker. It's empty. Oh, no. Yeah, nothing in there that I think belongs in there. I know there have been some hints that we could get some snow shower, especially Thursday and Friday morning. Not sold on that being a big issue. So don't think it belongs to the board. So I'm going to keep the board clear for just a bit longer. Maybe we'll fill it back in sooner rather than later, right? Don't be sad. We've had a busy stretch of winter. I mean, we started filling the board up. Well, it was right out of the gate, where, if I remember right. I mean, this comes out Halloween night, the winter forecast. So I feel like right out of the gate we had something to track, and it's been pretty steady. I think I only had one time that I believe that we had to switch to Storm Talk for a moment, and then we went back to Snow Talk again. And I do think that's what's happening with our pattern, by the way, right now. I do think we are resetting things, gearing back up for the next round of wintry weather. The difference is, as we're gearing back up for the next round of wintry weather that'll be coming our way, we will be battling the change of seasons. It gets more complex. Now you're going to introduce almost every storm system will have some type of thunderstorm component, maybe even strong storms, and then you'll have some heavier snow also in the mix. So it will likely get more wild than it has been. But as far as the deep freeze, below zero, getting stuck in the cold and not able to bury out for days on end, those days are over. We are on the other side of that type of setup. So the any snow we get from here on out will likely be more of the wet snow type of setup. Besides clippers that could slide in, but most of the snows that we have from here on out are going to be your wet snow. So easier to get rid of, although most of these, the sun will take care of it. They're not easier to shovel. They're heavier. So if you can allow the sun to take care of it, then I would just let Mother Nature do its thing. See the lake still frozen there at Huber's Huber's Orchard and Winery. Still got some ice there on the Ohio. Not as much, right? Slowly but surely beginning to fade away as it kind of drifts around across the banks there of the Ohio. But wow, last week was some crazy numbers with that. All right, let me show the current numbers outside. We're running 40 here in Louisville. Feels like a heat wave. The 41, by the way, is the warmest we've been since this whole mess started back in January. We did it twice, and we've been colder since, and we are about to cross over that mark to be the warmest we've been. I don't think it's for the year, because I think we had some thunderstorms at the beginning of the year, but it will be the warmest since this whole, I don't want to say nightmare, but this whole deep freeze from Olaf kicked in with multiple rounds of cold and snow. This is the first day you will really notice a difference. Everyone's going to be outside today. You will be. Now, as I alluded to on Facebook, not sure if anyone's going to be out wearing shorts, but somebody is. Somebody is, especially when you see the high here in a second. All right, you still see the snowpack on the ground. This is the only thing that will still work against us today, as the snowpack is still being found south of us, where the wind flow will be eventually coming from. Today, it's an east flow. Once it switches around a little more to the west, we'll try to get a little bit more of a warming wind before it goes back north again tonight. But still, the snowpack is going to have some influence on temperature. The models are probably running a little too hot on the numbers we got in the area, but still, even subtracting that, it's still looking pretty decent today. What is wild about today is we're going to have a sunny setup, which we got now. We're about to develop clouds. We're about to get rain, maybe some thunder, and the sky is going to clear out, and we'll have stars in the sky later tonight. It is going to be very fast in the next 12 hours of what's going to happen here. And it will be all rain, but this is going to happen quickly. So if you are especially near and south of the Ohio River and you want to be outside or have plans outside in general, try to clean up something that may have been messed up from the wintry side of things, you don't have a lot of time here today. Now is the time, because you wait, I would say 3 more hours, maybe 4, you're going to run into the rain quickly developing over you. So kind of a heads up there. Let me get into a wider view and show that, there's a snowpack in the Ohio Valley that is not wanting to let go. I mean, ours is really the main show on snowpack is in our region, and is the Ohio River Valley. There's not much snow to the east or west. So models are running warm and run into an environment that it thinks it's the same all the way through here, but in reality, it's not the same because of the warming that we've had, or the snowpack we've got in the area. But the snowpack will be eroded away, I would say, at least, depending on how much you got on the ground. But if you got like 2 inches, you will lose about 80% of it today, and you will lose close to 100. The one exception to that is going to be the snow mounds, even in your driveway that you've shoveled up to the sides. Even those mounds in your driveway and sidewalks and on your street, those will last all the way through the rest of the month. Those will take a lot longer to fade away. And just keep in mind, too, with those leaking every day and melting, they will allow for some minor refreezing each and every night that we drop below freezing again down the road. So that will be just something we'll battle on a daily basis. But the current snowpack is on its way out. So if you want to build a snowman, the snow should have enough components to it, although most of it's a sleet layer of ice. It's hard to crack into it, I know. But if you're able to build anything out of it, now's the time, because it's about to leave us. There's the rain. It's going to be developing, at least the boundary in place. Again, it'll just kind of drift up toward the Ohio Valley, and you'll see the radar just light up fast. As I say, light up like a light bright. That'll be right around the, I would say, 2-3 o'clock window, somewhere in there. The rain will develop, but the front itself is going to be quickly on pushing it southbound. So this is why Indiana, you could be completely missed out of this rain today. This looks to be more of a Kentucky show. About a quarter of a half inch too for those in Kentucky. So the other thing is, of course, going to be the temperature idea. And in fact, temperatures outside compared to where they were 24 hours ago, we have not seen. Just see, looking at these colors in this map of the oranges. It's like, there we go. Nice to see the colors showing 17 above where you were yesterday at this time. Chuck, Brian is in a bad mood. No snow. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm actually looking forward to it. As many of you have got our electric bill. So yeah, I'm ready. We need a thaw. I love snow. I do love snow. But once it's on the ground, I like to enjoy it for just a brief moment, but I'm done with it. You know, I really want it to move on. Let's get fresh snow in, a fresh system to come in. That's what I like. This day in and day out of snow on the ground. This is why, again, I don't want to move up north, because I don't want to deal with it on a daily basis. I just want the excitement of one coming and then have it leaving town. If that makes sense. Probably doesn't. True snow lovers, I think, know what I mean. All right, so there you go. We got the warming trend today kicking into play. That's 17 days in a row of snow on the ground. So I think it resets at 3 o'clock. Technically, I think it'll be 18. we'll check and see on the stats on that. We should be able to maintain at least 1 inch when they measure that. So this may be it, though. Still in the record books in the top 10. Pretty cool. All right, let me move on. Here is, what do we got here? Futurecast. Oh, yes. Here's Futurecast showing, this is a little slow, showing 7 p.m. I think this is going to be a little faster. And I wouldn't roll out it reaching as far north as Clark County into Jefferson County, Indiana, Madison, Indiana. Wouldn't surprise me. I just think the odds are better for it to ignite or develop over Kentucky than Indiana. But as I mentioned, it's not going to last very long. It's just a band of showers. I was looking at some of the soundings. There's not a lot of support for thunder, but I wouldn't roll out a few lightning strikes. Nothing on the severe side, so don't worry about that. This is a relatively tame setup. And again, as soon as it pops on the radar, it will begin to head southbound. And this is where the model tries to throw in some of those snow showers on the leading edge of the Thursday night and Friday wave that try to streak along. I think a lot of that, unfortunately, is not going to reach the ground. So even if we were to get a snow band to form, it would have a lot of challenges with it. It would be very, very minor because we will be warming up after it. So that's why it's not on the snowboard, because I don't think it's anything to be concerned about right now. If things change, we'll let you know. All right, here's Futurecast for the Euro. The Euro had kind of a wild run, but I want to start with something and give my thoughts on where I think the model is good and where it needs some work here. Because the pattern overall is, again, doing its whole reset idea. There is no Arctic air really available anymore. This is all stale Canadian air, as I refer to it. The Arctic is trying to regroup back to the North Pole again, meet up with its friends, come up with a game plan of the next continent it wants to attack. To put it into a character sense, that's what is happening with the polar vortex right now. So as it is doing that, that has given us a bit of a break here. Now, here's your storm again for Valentine's. A few days ago, I was looking at the animation of this, going back 5 days, I think it was. I was looking at the animation. It was all over the place. But at one point, I had snow here, snow up here, and then snow down here, and then went back to rain here, and then snow up here, and then rain here. And then the last 2 or 3 runs, it's been locking in on rain, rain, rain. So it's starting to see that there's just not enough cold air. It starts to retreat out of the area. So more than likely, this is just a rain event. And it's just a matter of now of how much rain for the holiday. Again, this will be right after the Friday the 13th. But talking about the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, into the 15th. That will be the core of it. Some of the models are a little more aggressive on the heavier rain into Kentucky. That does bear watching with the frozen ground and some of the ice into area rivers that we don't always see, not just the Ohio, but there are some streams and creeks that do have ice in them. So yes, the thresholds for flooding will be a little elevated in this scenario. So we'll watch it and see if that becomes a problem or not as we get into the weekend. Right now, there's no big alarm to sound on that. It moves on out of here, and then we get into the final week, a week before the final week of February. Wow, this month moves along, and we're getting a long gap here. Anytime you get a long gap like this, there's nothing happening, everything's just kind of stirring around, it's a good sign that another storm system is on its way, and it's gathering up enough of a south flow, and it's a slow mover. And sure enough, that's exactly what we're looking at. Look at the Cape. Now, this is just a Euro, one model run, yada, 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 but it's already bringing the Cape up into Dakotas, and that's where I'm going to stop there. After that, if this runs right, yes, we will be busy, and it will certainly be storm talk as we move along. All right, a couple things I want to show you guys. First off, on the SIPS analogs, just if I can bring that full screen for y'all. Hold on. The analogs, they've been quiet, haven't they, for a while? Nothing to worry about, of course, today, tomorrow, deep in Texas. Here we go, Valentine's Day. Yep, all down to the south, and then it just stays to the south. And then that's as far as it can see. It can't really see the bigger one that may show up around the 20th. It's not in range yet, so we'll give it some time. But just know we're watching this. I think some of you always ask about what do these analogs say. They're not aiming toward us at all. In fact, when you look at the hold on one second. Let me backtrack. There we go. when you look at the wind field aloft here, so here's we are at the ground level. Up here is, basically where airplanes fly. What we're looking for is when the wind dips down toward the surface. That's when you start to run into problems with not only high wind events, you run into, if there's enough fuel, thunderstorms, severe weather. This chart is looked at a lot for problems whenever we have the winds that dip down. The good news I can say is that we only have one little dip that's in the area for today with that little warm surge. So the wind will be a little gusty today just because of a little bit of a drop that happens to help get us into the 60s. And then really it's heading toward that bigger event, which is not impressive now, but this is one to watch. This could end up pulling down more wind than what you see here, and that could be the next feature. But look at the gap. Again, very, very quiet. So we need that. We need a chance to thaw, clean up our cars, kind of resume life once again. And another sign of quiet, the matrix from the Euro model there. That's for that Friday morning wave. It's still trying to hint that a few things could fall out of that. But again, it's minor, so I'm not worried about it. And it just, pretty spaced out after that. If you're asking, is winter over? It's not over. Again, this is a reset. Unfortunately, because of the reset, this also means March is going to be wild. So I hope you're ready. Enjoy this break, guys. Trust me on this. The data is all lining up for a wild March in the area of all types, really. So here's where we stand on this. 62 today. We may get to 66. I think Tawana was pushing for that. Only concern we're going to have right now will be just the wind direction out of the east, how much that switches around. At times it may go over the snowpack. So that may limit us slightly before clouds roll in. But still, I mean, look at that. That's nice. That's going to feel like summer today. The rain will be the only bummer, but we got a few hours for that happens. So the next few hours, if you want to have lunch and take off the T-tops, people still have T-tops on cars. I don't know, probably don't. Take the T-tops off the car on the Trans Am, drive around, go to the drive-through, show off your car, enjoy your Tuesday there. And again, Wednesday will be a noticeably cooler day, but I wouldn't say cold, just cooler. And then Valentine's Day at this point, it does look wet, but for now, it looks all liquid that we're talking about. We're not going below freezing. And next week, we'll just wait and see how things build up to that weekend, because it does look to be a weekend storm that we'll have to follow. So we'll play with the numbers a little more in more detail down the road there. Okay. Easy enough. Uh-oh. Spammer. Got spammer. There we go. Move to Alaska, Justin. Uh-oh. Somebody's getting into it, but the non-snow lovers and bots fans there. Glad you're feeling better. I'm on the mend, slowly getting there. I may seem a little dazed at times. There's a lot of medication in my body right now, but I'm okay. I'm coherent, I promise. More chill than normal, which is perfectly fine. Winter over? Nope, not over. It's not over. Everything is all lined up to reset and come back around. I just don't know to what degree. And again, it's not going to be the same as what we went through. It's not going to be the same. It's a different type of environment with a higher sun angle, more thunderstorms involved. They're just going to be different looking systems, but you bet they're going to have thunderstorms and they're going to have snow with them. We just got to figure out where we're going to fit into all that. And I don't know. I just know that the signal is like the best way I can word it, and I'll find a way to visualize this for you all, is just the signal is very loud on all aspects of types and precipitation and what we call mid-latitude cyclones rolling across the lower 48. That signal is loud, indicating a lot of back and forth that happens, some very intense systems, some having very intense amounts of snow, and some having severe weather potential outbreaks with them that come along. So I'm not saying here, I'm just saying they have that potential across the lower 48. That's a pretty alarming signal to see even this far out, even from March. So again, caution you just to relax and rest, get your errands done, let us do the worrying for you. And as soon as we start to see that we're entering that mode and that phase, getting ready to gear up, we'll let you know. Fair enough? All right. When we get out of here, guys, that's enough rambling today. It's 10:11. A little short one today. About time. I will see you guys coming up on midday at 11 a.m. And of course, we are streaming our Olympic coverage today on what you're watching now, really. If you wanted to watch on the weather app or the news app, try the news app, probably be better. But we'll be streaming our newscast there. So I'll still be on there with our lovely friends throughout the entire day. And that's the only time you'll see me, though, be the blog and on midday for the next couple of weeks. All right? Fair enough? Bye, everybody.